Hey everyone, it's Jake's Metal Chat. Hope you're all well and welcome to episode 20 of my Metal Vault. You know the drill by now. I will be exploring and showing you my favorite albums within heavy metal, thrash metal, death metal, black metal, doom metal, sludge metal, folk metal, you name it, all that excellent stuff. And before I even crack on with the band in question, I know I uploaded my last episode on Friday instead of Saturday, but then thinking about it, I was a bit late with my favorite death metal albums a while ago. So I thought, just put one up on a day that I don't normally put up this series. It's usually Tuesdays and Saturdays, but I thought, let's put that one up on Friday. But we'll be back to the normal schedule from now on. So let's crack on with a band all the way from Germany, formed in 1982. You know this band down here, you know them. They've been around for 30, sorry, 42 years. 42 years of aggressive thrash metal, and of course, so many bands influenced by them. You know, a lot of thrash metal bands, death thrash metal bands, incorporating bands from death metal and thrash. Of course, those guys are going to be in this list, and I'm going to chat more about them after introducing them. You know this band anyway. It's Sodom with their 1989 album Agent Orange, and aggressive stuff here. Awesome. Nah, excellent. Nah, outstanding German thrash metal from the late 80s. Man, look at that artwork. Absolutely amazing stuff. This is the re-release, so you got the album on that one and the live stuff and more tracks on there. So 5 live tracks and a German version of one of the songs on the album. You're going to know which one. And let's get the book out so we can see the artwork a little bit more. Look at that. Absolutely fantastic stuff there. There's a reason why these are one of my favorite bands. If you look in here, whoever was lucky enough to see that tour, then you got to see 2 excellent bands there. And of course, they played London. If we can just get it to focus right there. London's right down there's a bit blow. There we go. I have a friend of mine from here. She went to that gig, and of course, she wasn't down by with all the guys just headbanging, moshing, and stage diving. No, she was at the top in the balcony area of the marquee. So she got to see these guys on this tour, as well as Sepultura with releasing a classic of theirs, Beneath the Remains. So 2 excellent albums, of course. The one I just mentioned will be featured at some point on this series. But let's chat about this one from 1989. This isn't the only album I've mentioned from 1989. I have mentioned Consuming Impulse by Pestilence, some classic Dutch death metal from that year, going into some classic German thrash. In your face, this is. And with a great opener with the title track Agent Orange, with that sliding bit in the guitar, and very, so it's quite fast, but not overly fast paced, but like mid tempo, and then it goes in that that more mid-tempo part with the that bit. I don't have to do it. You know what it sounds like. But yeah, I haven't heard this album in a while, and then put it back on because I only put it back on like 2-3 hours ago, and I haven't listened to this album for I don't know. But the last time I heard it was about 2012 or 2013, maybe later than that. And going through this list of albums, and I was like, this one just popped into my head. I was like, because I did hear Agent Orange again recently. I can't remember where, but the song itself, not the entire album. And oh boy, if you haven't heard this band yet, then you got to get this album. This is the one I started with. And I also have Persecution Mania, which is their album from 1987. To anyone not familiar with this band, of course, you veterans, you know. And I yet to get their debut, Obsessed by Cruelty, which I've also heard, and that's, in a sense, you can say that borderlines. It's thrash metal, but Sodom, forming, of course, back in 1982, they've been considered like one of the many early first wave of black metal bands because their sound is quite black metal. It's got that sound, especially with their EP from 1985, In the Sign of Evil. Especially with the song Outbreak of Evil. That whole EP is just insane. And well, the first song I heard from that one was Blasphemer, which are Devastator, great thrash metal band. You need to check out. Covered. So you can see how far their influence has gone into just thrash metal bands or death thrash metal bands or black thrash metal bands, black speed thrash metal bands. This goes on, just absolutely goes on. And cheers to everyone out there. Now, what I was going to say about this album, well, continue my favorite tracks. But I don't think I showed any lyrics. Let's get the book out again so I can show you some more of the inside before I go on the tracks. So got some lyrics there. Picture of the band there. More lyrics. Oh, I know I should have posted already, but come on. I wish I was born a little bit earlier and I could have gone to that because just seeing that is just, come on, look at that. And my little poster there. And let's show the artwork one more time. If I was going to do a video on favorite artworks, this would be one of them. Now, favorite songs of mine on this album, obviously the title track. Again, with that great opener and when it kicks in, when it gets to that first verse and then the chorus, Tired and Red, another just a great opener there. And I mean, all fast songs, but if you were like gonna get a song, like if you do cardio at the gym, which what am I saying, a lot of people will, depending on what sort of day it is arm day, leg day, whatever. But after a workout, you like put some music on to all you metalheads out there. Tired and Red is that fast, aggressive one that you really want on. Incest, another solid, aggressive song. That screaming does, and it just echoes like on to the very last bit of the chorus in the song. Remember the Fallen, definitely one to remember, no pun intended. Just more of a mid-paced song, but still heavy at the same time. Magic Dragon, again, solid song, fast, aggressive, mid-tempo at times. Exhibition Boat is another solid, aggressive song. Ascabont, and because on disc number 2 is a German version, and both versions are great, either both in in English or their native tongue, as you can see right there. Of course, live tracks there as well as so a live version of Ascabont and the German version. And I need to listen to that again because it's also on their Ascabont single with track number 9 on the main album. Yeah, so Ascabont is more the punkiest one of the entire album. Excuse me. It's more punkier, but still very much aggressive, because obviously punk rock being an aggressive form of music, but thrash metal, stems from punk. So best of both worlds right there. Baptism of Fire, just again, like I said about all the other songs so far, aggressive, solid, in your face. Well, I didn't say the in your face pop, but that's implied. And of course, the last song on here, as it is the re-release, is called Don't Walk Away, and it's by a band called Tank, which I am familiar with. Haven't heard too much of Tank, but we'll be getting back into listening to more heavy metal, more heavy metal bands, because obviously my 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 little my thing is basically a lot of death metal, but I also love my heavy metal, of course. Been listening to more heavy metal bands, and of course Tank being from the UK, so hence why I have listened to. I mean, I'll listen to any band that's death metal, heavy metal, thrash, black metal from whatever country it is, because you support you. You're a metalhead. Of course, you're watching this. You support metal no matter what. But to those watching this, will be like more into their thrash, into their death, into their black, the doom, the new wave of British heavy metal, folk metal, sludge, and think of doom. I might have said doom already before that, but mention it again. But if you're more into your thrash and you love that more aggressive side of it, Sodom is for you. I mean, look at that logo. I mean, and the artwork here, there's a little bit of close up on it. And, and of course, Agent Orange was the name that was given to the napalm used back in the Vietnam War, which obviously, of course, it's based off of that. And Magic Dragon was one of the planes, I believe, if I remember correctly. But of course, remember the Fallen is all. I think just won't just span to that one. I mean, like to the Second World War, First World War, till the soldiers lost. Throughout war. Now for my favorite tracks on here. I got my top 4 basically. So the title track, Tired and Red, Remember the Fallen, and Ascabont. Of course, went Ascabont because, like I said, is the more punkier of the entire album. And if you like songs like that can transition from what the genre of the band is to doing something like that, then you're well on your way to liking bands like this. Now, like I said, this is the one, like I said earlier at the start. This was the first album I ever heard by this band. The first song I ever heard was the title track, and I was instantly hooked. And I've yet to see this band live. I've seen Creator, I've seen Destruction, I've seen Tankard, but I've not seen these guys yet. I know they played London like some years back, but I couldn't go to it. Well, I was on the weekday and I was at college and I had to focus on that, of course. But whenever they come back to the UK, and I hope they come to my neck of the woods, because obviously it'll be a lot easier for me to get home. But if they play London, can make other arrangements. And I love going to London because they always get the underground thrash, death, and black metal over there. Man. I know there's going to be more new people who have subscribed and come and buy my videos, and you've gotten into metal maybe the last like 5 years or 2 years, or you're brand new and you like your thrash more than anything else. I suggest going and you want, I mean, rephrase that. You like more your thrash, but you want someone a little bit more, aggressive. And Tom's vocals on this, like the ones we got on here, we got Tom Angelwhipper on bass and vocals. We got Chris Witch Hunter on drums. Sadly passed away in 2008, but left behind a legacy of just killer thrash. And Frank Blackfire, who was also on the Persecution Mania album, joined Creator for a time, but now is back in Sodom. He rejoined them in 2018. So that'd just be epic for me to just see that right now. Of course, would love to have seen Chris in the band. Like I said, sadly passed away in 2008, so rest in peace to him. Don't know what else more to say about this album other than it's just, and I will say this for every album I've said, it's a timeless masterpiece. Not just in the genre that this band's in, which is thrash metal, in that genre of metal, but it's a timeless masterpiece in metal in general. And it's from the late 80s, which a lot of great albums came out that year, in that decade. But a lot came out in the year this album came out. And I have so many more from that year to show you. And what more can I say about Sodom? Not awesome. What more can I say about this album? Is excellent. Is outstanding. It's also an awesome, outstanding, timeless masterpiece of an album. And I advise any newcomers into metal, especially thrash metal, to check this out, as well as many other thrash metal albums that I will be showing in this series. But if you want to start off with something like, because with German thrash metal, it's more aggressive, and I think that's because Tom's vocals on this are more harsher, raspier than, say, stuff like, in terms of vocals, I mean, with Tom Morello, it's more clean, but he's still shouting. This is more just like the vocals you would hear in some death metal bands, basically. More on the death thrashier side, more, I think more on the black speed thrash metal side of it all. And I know there's going to be a lot of bands out there that have been influenced by this band May not necessarily be this specific album. It might be the In the Sign of Evil EP and Obsessed by Cruelty, which I will be listening to again because it is a good album, along with Persecution Mania and this one again, definitely. You want some quality thrash. This is for you. Sodom and Agent Orange. And that is it for another episode of My Metal Vault. And that is another one going to be ticked off the list. And I have 2 more on this page to do, and a lot more coming. So just want to say thank you again. I've got some more. I had like 3 new subscribers recently. So thank you very much for subscribing. And to anyone watching this now, if you enjoyed my content, you enjoy what you enjoy what I'm bringing to the world of YouTube, then like this video, share it around. Feel free to comment if you have anything on your mind. And most importantly, don't forget to subscribe so you can keep up to date with all of this, of all my Metal Vault, favorite death metal albums, collection updates, interviews, you name it, it'll be here. And don't forget to check out YouTubers such as Manly Loves Death Metal, Ken's Death Metal Crypt, the Death Doom Metalhead, and Mark G. C, as well as many others. So thank you very much for tuning in. I've been Jacob Jake's Metal Chat. Keep that banner of metal held high, and I will see you again in another episode of My Metal Vault.